It's 1.5 hours after sunrise, February, in the lowest place on Earth. We are 200 meters away from the Dead Sea and 0.5 kilometer south of the ancient settlement of Engedi, which appears in the book of Joshua as one of the desert cities of the tribe of Judah. For you perfume lovers, the place here was known throughout the various empires 2,000 and 3,000 years ago as a production place of the most quality perfumes. Now today we will climb Mount Tzruya. We are starting from the Dead Sea, which is 430 meters below sea level, and we'll climb 600 meters to reach the top of Mount Tzruya. I estimate it will take us 3 hours, but the most important is that we will have the chance to talk about Surya, King David's sister, and her 3 sons. And this will be done during breaks. Surya is King David's sister, the daughter of Abishai. The mother name does not appear in the Bible, but the name of King David's mother, and probably her mother as well, appears in the Talmud as Nitzevet bat Asahel. Surya is the mother of Abishai, Joab, and Asahel. Her sons are named after her, unlike what is customary in Bible and in ancient time, where the children are named after their father. This is either because she was an impressive woman, worthy of note, or because she is from a privileged family. She is the sister of King David, and perhaps because of the 2 reasons together. Surya's sons are fearless heroes, and one can find several places in the Bible where their heroism casts a shadow over King David's heroism. Their devotion to King David has no limits. Their commitment to David on the battlefield is absolute, willing to die for him. No wonder we often hear what they have to say. It seems impossible to separate between them and King David. The relationship between King David and the brothers is tight and complicated. Sometimes it seems difficult for both parties. According to the book of Chronicles, Asahel was the youngest of Surya's sons. He is listed in the Bible as one of King David's heroes. He is described as a fearless hero, yet that has a downside. The young and fast Asahel does not understand that speed is not the appearance of everything, and that judgment and military experience can overcome heroism and youthful enthusiasm. After the death of King Saul, during the battle between the army of Ish-Boshet, King Saul's son, and the army of David by the pool of Givon, which began as a game according to the Bible, Asahel chased Avner ben Ner, the army commander of Ish-Boshet. Avner ben Ner tried to convince Asahel to stop his chase and to avoid the unnecessary fight. When Asahel refused, Avner killed him with his spear. Later, Joab avenged his brother Asahel killing and kills Avner. Abishai was Surya's eldest son and is listed as one of David's leading heroes. Apparently he joined David in the early stage of establishing David's close supporters during the period David ran away from King Saul. Now, after David's coronation as a king, Abishai was appointed as a senior army commander under the command of Joab, his brother. When King David was on the run from his son Avshalom, who wanted to take over the kingdom, let me add here that probably Avshalom was looking for a revenge for the rape of his sister Tamar by Amnon, also David's son from another mother, and King David didn't do anything to Amnon for raping Tamar, which according to the Bible, Amnon deserves the death penalty. Now, during King David's escape, together with his group and Abishai, he ran into Shimi ben Gera from King Shaul family, who cursed King David. Abishai, with his hot temper, wanted to kill Shimi. King David was angry at Abishai for that and tells him, among other things, "What is with you sons of Tzruya?" And apparently this statement is directed not only to Abishai, but also to his brother Joab. This statement illustrates the complex relationship between Tzruya's sons and their uncle, King David. Look at this beautiful blossom. We are end of February, close to the top of Mount Tzruya, and the blossom around us is amazing for a desert area. We are close to the top, and it's time to talk about the most famous son of Surya, Joab. He was the chief army commander of King David. His absolute loyalty to David has many examples, and it is important to note that Joab is not afraid to express his opinion to King David, but in the end, he will carry out David's order, even if he does not agree with them, and there are several examples I will not discuss here. I would like to point out one example that impressed me the most as characterizing Joab. After the failure of Absalom's revolt against his father, King David, and after Absalom is killed, King David mourns his son, while all of King David's supporters are still recovering from the difficult battles. Then comes Joab, and in a brilliant speech, he challenges his king. How come the king prefers one son, the traitor, over his loving and loyal soldiers and servants? And also adds a threat of what will happen if King David will not go out and speak to his people. I encourage you to read the second book of Samuel, chapter 19. An excellent example of Joab's lack of fear when it comes to what he believes in. He will say it is the greatest king of Israel. King David listened to Joab and returns to function as a king. What probably failed Joab was the need for revenge. Joab allegedly kills Avner because he does not trust him, and that is after Avner met David following the death of King Saul and offered to David to unite all tribes under him. Yet, based on the Bible, it was a blood revenge for Avner killing Asahel, Joab's brother. Yet, even beyond that, Avner brought to David an agreement. He arranged the consent of the tribes of Israel to accept David's kingship over them, a step that was necessary for political and military reasons I will not elaborate here. The killing of Avner could have jeopardized the unite of the tribes of Israel behind King David. Joab also kills Amasa ben Yeter, Avshalom heads of army, who King David nominated to replace Joab after the death of Avshalom. It is difficult for Joab to deal with the fact that the king appoints Amasa, who was just a minute ago entrusted by Avshalom with his own army to kill King David. Even towards his relative, Joab shows no mercy, and only to mention that Amasa was the son of Abigail, the sister of Surya, Joab's mother. So we reached the top, we are happy, not so much the way Joab ended his life. Joab pays with his life for the killing of Avner ben Ner and Amasa ben Yeter, as listed in King David's will. It is important to note that King David does not mention in his will the killing of his beloved son Absalom. He may understood that this was a wise and necessary step in favor of the kingdom. King Solomon, the son of David, fulfills his father's will and instructs his head of army to kill Joab. We reached the end of this video, and as usual, a question for you. How many brothers King David had as listed in the book of Samuel? The answer will appear in 5 seconds.